Hi, my name is Ifeolu and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be looking at Bootstrap and how to implement Bootstrap components in your web project. Right, so you can check my previous videos on how to set up for web development and the likes. Links are also in the description below. So first, we're going to look at for any project or for any package or library you are using, it's always important to use their provided documentation. So we're going to use Bootstrap documentation. You can just go to getbootstrap.com. So you are just going to go to getbootstrap.com, and then for the content delivery, you just check content delivery network. You can just check get bootstrap cdn bootstrapcdn.com. So you have all of that there. So what do I mean by content delivery? So look at now. At this point, I want to start my project. I'm just going to clear my previous script, right? So I'm starting off my project. If I copy this right now and then paste it in my code, I'm using a plugin in my VS Code that is rendering my page or my HTML page after I save. But in your case, you might not have the plugin. Plugin should be HTML preview. So if you don't have the plugin, what you can just do as well is just save and then refresh your web browser. So I'm just going to head over to my browser and then, of course, just refresh this. Yeah, hello world. But you can see this text still looks like default text. So I need to bring in Bootstrap. If you well, this would expect that you already have Bootstrap on your computer, but no, we want to use a CDN, which is a content delivery network. So this is where you just copy the second one and then paste. So once I paste, it is importing Bootstrap through this and then Bootstrap scripts through this. So if I save now and go back to my page, you'll see that the font has changed to the default Bootstrap font. So next thing, I'm just going to show us quick guide as to how to use all Bootstrap snippets and components generally. If you want to look at all the components individually, you can find them here. Just read the documentation, pagination, placeholders, modals, and all the likes. So, but I'm just going to head over to examples. When you get to examples, you can download the source code. You'll find all the source code for this here. But for now, I'm just going to focus on this. So, right, if you're going to get this done, take for instance, now we have taken header for our website. So we need a header for this page. Next thing, I'll just head over to this sample script for headers. I find the one that I like. So I'm just going to do one thing. I always advise that you use Chrome browser as well. Well, you can use any browser if you know how to use the developer tools. So just right click. When you right click, select inspect on your browser, and then select the mouse selector. Right, and then now we want to use this particular one. So I'm just going to use the mouse selector to navigate and find which one, and then it tells me this one, right? So if you check my snippets down here, you'll see that I've highlighted that and it's also highlighting in the browser. So I'm just going to right click again and then copy this element, right? And then I can head over back to my browser or to my code editor. I don't need this, so I'm just going to paste the header. So once I paste the header, you can find that app name. Because this is Bootstrap, I'm copying from a Bootstrap script, and then I'm also bringing into my own Bootstrap where I imported that using the content delivery network. So you can then change this, tweak this all over and say, okay, virtual products, whatever it is, you can do so much with that. So next thing is, I've brought in my header. You can tweak the color to whatever you like. Take for instance, I don't want this color to be this. So I'm going to just use a direct styling here. So I'll just do style. Take for instance, I'm just going to say text bg dark. I'm just going to reassign a color from here, and then say background color. I'm just going to use any color from here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it wants to listen. So let's do important. Yeah, can you see? So important is to override anyone that is preventing. So I'll just do header bg. You can just give it a different name anyway, so that you won't be overriding Bootstrap. So just give it a different name. So I'm just going to look for a color that is nice actually. We're using one color for our previous project, so I'll just bring in that color. It's one orange element here. So I'll just bring in, you don't need this important again because it's a new class that you have defined. Yeah, so you can have all this whatever. You can tweak as much as you want later. So next thing to do is let's bring in another component, which will be like our welcome or hero section. So yeah, for heroes, just click on heroes. I think I like this one, so I'm just going to inspect again. So inspect it. When you inspect it, select the mouse cursor, don't forget, and then that should be it. Copy elements. So before you paste any element outside the header, always do this, create a main tag, yeah, and then paste that in between. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so let's say Bootstrap, let's call it Bootstrap e-commerce demo. So that's just like a title, and then let's give our buttons title as well. Start shopping, and then all products. See all products. I mean, you can do as much as you want to do with all this. Let's change this image to let's say e-commerce image. Let's just find one that looks nice. Okay, this looks nice. So when you find the image, you don't necessarily have to download it on your computer. Just highlight and right click and then copy image address. So within the source of your image, just go to yeah, this is it. So just paste it inside, right? So once you paste it, I think that should have been affected. Yeah. So you can see the image here already, and everything is set for use. So I'm just going to check my classes and be sure that everything is intact. Okay. So next is I think we need to put this div in a container somewhere. But let's head up. So next is to let's bring in something like a product view, something like that. Yeah. So check, you can use this album, like all this kind of thing, to view product and the likes. So let's just inspect. What we need is just this first three. So I mean, you can tweak as much as you like later, but this is not. I just want to show you how to use this quickly, real quick. So this is a row. So you are going to be sure that you are checking the right thing. Right. Okay. So this is actually in a section. Yeah. So copy the element. Right. Ensure it's within the main. So paste this. Let's see what it looks like. Viewer. So your products can be as much as these. Let me show you one thing again that we can do. You can just, of course, you can change the image. So let's see what this looks like. Let's just pick one of this image, and then for products, placeholder thumbnail. Where is it displaying the thumbnail? I think it's using the class there. Yeah, it's using an SVG image, so I mean we can change that later to normal image. So you can just do all that sometimes later. So next is, let's look at okay, let me change that now. Let me just change that now. Let's see what happens. Ensure you are maintaining the class anyways. I just want to, because that's important. So I'm just going to copy the class and give it to this image. Then remove the whole SVG thing. Let's see what happens. The image has run out of proportion. Anyway, oh, okay, because of this height. So let's remove all this. Let it only work with, yes. Can you see? So that's how it works. And then all this story, I can change this particular one to a button. View, this is wider. No, I don't need all these stories. If you want to check out all these individual classes work, you can just look at them later. Say by btn small sm. Let's see. Yeah. So I just changed that to a small button instead. Right. So buy. Let's just call it buy. Or view product. So view product. Yeah. Sorry. Text. So you can just do that or duplicate that for every other part. So last thing that we're going to look at for this is our footer. So let's add a footer, right? Let's add a footer to our page. The footer is like the end section. You can check every other thing. Just try your hands on them, practice them. It doesn't cost anything. Nobody's charging you for it. So let's just look at this one. I like this one, so I'm just going to inspect. And the fact that once you pull, you can just tweak it to match whatever you want to do or what your intended design is. So let's see. This one is what we're copying. So just scroll down to the end of your page. Ensure that you are following the parent-child thing. So let me just format this document so that my paging is properly set up here. So I can see this. So let me just put it outside just before the end of the main. It's good to also follow how you have been developing. Yeah. So in 10 minutes, we've done this from beginning to the end. So you can then have some other pages within your app. Let's see if it's responsive. Beautiful, beautiful. So we call responsiveness, like it's important for your page to be responsive so that when it goes on mobile devices, you can also view them. So thank you for spending time with me. Please ensure that you're practicing, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share as well. Thank you, and see you later.